A positive mindset. Note that everything is a matter of your mindset. If you believe you can overcome a conundrum, you are most likely to overcome it than one who doesn't. What you think has a huge hold on what you can achieve first.
What's happening, guys? This is Weisenheimer speaking. So today I want us to do a market breakdown on synthetic indices. So yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at. That's what I decided that today I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So we're going to be looking at the simplest ways and the most simplest ways how to tackle the financial markets on synthetic indices, right? So we're going to be looking at a pair or two, dig deep into it, maybe start from a bit of a high time frame and go with it down all the way to a little bit of a lower time frame where we can get to see the entry triggers and exit triggers or possible exit triggers, right? So if you're new to the channel, make sure that you do subscribe, like and share with your friends. And if you are a returning subscriber, shout out to you. Thank you for the love, thank you for the support and all that. So yeah, before I can go any further, I'd like to give you guys the scripture of the day. So guys, the scripture of the day on Isaiah 41 verse 10, and it reads like, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So that is it, guys. Make sure that on your spare time you also get to read it, or maybe just read the whole chapter just for a proper understanding on what's happening right there. So without any further waste of time, we'll just get into the charts. So now we are on the daily time frame, which is the 24-hour time frame on volatility 25 index. So this is what I'm gonna be, or I want to share with you guys on synthetic indices. I want to share with you a market breakdown on the volatility 25 index. So we're gonna start from the daily time frame, just for us to get like a bigger insight or a bigger picture of what's really happening with the volatility 25 index. What is it to expect? How can you look at it? So, but the only advice that I can give you with synthetic indices is you just have to keep it simple as possible. So basically, synthetic indices, you just trade it using levels and trade it using zones and trend lines. Don't complicate it too much, because if you complicate it too much, you stand a higher chance of not understanding or getting confused. So yeah, so the first thing that I see here is obviously a beautiful turning point here from something that looks like my double click this one, from my double top here. So from this first turning point, we had another one here, which was the second, and obviously as time went by, or as the markets were moving, we had a third one. So obviously now this is confirmation enough for us to use a trend line. So I'm just gonna start here and expand my trend line all the way to the downside, just like this, right? So now after this, I'm gonna be looking at because this one was a trend line or a diagonal resistance trend line. So now I'm going to be looking for a horizontal, a diagonal trend line for my resistant levels or my resistance zone. You understand? So before we can have before the market can even give us a resistance, the market is supposed to give us it's supposed to give us a support. So in that manner, I'll just and so in that case, I will use this one as my first market rejection, use this one as the second market rejection, and obviously come around here and get myself a third one. So after getting this third one, I can now draw my diagonal support. Yeah, my diagonal support. So with all that being said, I'll just zoom in a bit and into the financial markets and obviously highlight specific zones, because remember I told you that the most important thing to look at while you trade synthetic indices are your zones. You understand? Are your zones. So this one also serves as a significant zone in the market here. So I'm just going to highlight it, then look for another one, which is obviously this one here. So I'm also going to highlight this one. Right. So now that I've managed to highlight these ones, obviously what is it that that I can also see in the markets? I can see a beautiful double bottom here, a beautiful double bottom here. So with that being said, what is it that I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna expand this and put it here, right? So this also serves as my what? As my support level here. So what is it that I can do now? I can switch to a bit of a lower time frame, like H4, all right, the 4-hour time frame. Switching to the 4-hour time frame. So we just got into the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, this previous level here, which the market was supposed to respect in the form of because once it was broken, it has now turned into what? Into resistance. But the market came back and broke this resistance, and now the market is it looks like the market is giving us a respect of structure here, because now these this is now a new resistance since it was broken while it was support. So now another thing that I can look here, I can also maybe check if I can be able to get myself a proper trend line. Yes, I am able to get myself a proper trend line, but at this point in time, it's not helping me in any way. So I'm just gonna filter it out, because you cannot be putting so much drawings on your charts just because you can. You understand? Some of the things you just have to filter them out, as they are not that important. So obviously, looking at the 4-hour time frame, I can see that the market is most likely to give us a seller here, and when the market sells, obviously it can push all the way to this level here. If the market continues with the seller, it can push all the way to this level, and obviously when it comes here, we are expecting the market to be respecting our support level, and also to be respecting our trend line, which is more of like the point of confluence. You understand? So now I can just delete this because I don't have confirmation enough yet. So let me just switch to I'm gonna go to M15, because the H4 and the H1, they are most likely to be the same, right? So let me just reset the chart so that I can get like a bigger picture of what's really happening. So as you can see, looking at the M15, the M15 is looking quite good, and obviously I mean it had a level here, a very strong support, or a very strong holding level of support here, right? So since it had this strong level of support, the market was busy playing around, fooling around, and at the end of the day, it gave us something that's looking like, and it gave us a head and shoulder like structure, right? We have our left shoulder like structure there, with our head like structure, then we have our right shoulder like structure around here. So now how can we confirm that this is really the structure that we are actually looking for? So that's where my trend line comes in, right? So it's up to me whether I want to start drawing the trend line from the very lower end of the market and push it all the way to the upside, or maybe I can just filter this out and focus more on the current market price, which is around here, right? So I can just try to focus more on the current market price, which is around this area. So I want to fix this properly. Exactly. So this is how it actually looks like. So now I can also come here since we had our support here, then we're gonna start from a diagonal resistance, which is also somewhere around here. So but most of the time I love to cut off the wicks. I love to cut off the wicks most of the time because they are more like fade outs. I mean, if you watch the previous video, when we switch to a line graph, the wicks are no longer there. So that's why I like cutting them off most of the time. So yeah, this is how we have our volatility 25 looking like. So now at this point in time, what I see is like the head and shoulder like structure was like inside of our right shoulder like structure was outside of our was inside of our trading channel. And remember on the previous video I said that for you to confirm it, if it's a real head and shoulder like structure, you must at least have your right shoulder must be at least outside of your trading channel. So as you can see here, it's just inside. But however, we are having like an immediate breakout. And remember what I said about immediate breakouts. If the first candlestick closes outside, we're also going to wait for the second candlestick to close outside. For an example, if this candlestick here decides to further push to the downside, then closes around this around here. Let me adjust this one so it can make sense. Right, so if this candlestick, for example, decides to push back down and closes around here, when I say outside, I mean outside of our channel. But if this candlestick will just push inside and close inside here, for an example, it gains more power and close inside of the channel, then we can consider taking buys. But at the moment, if what I'm looking at is that if the volatility 25 index is gonna close outside here, then that's where I'm going to start catering for a sell. And when I cater for a sell, what's the best or the safest stop loss to use? I can just put it inside here, just a bit inside, then making sure that my target is all the way down here. So I can put it around this support level here, right? Can put it around this support level. So this is what I can be looking at on the volatility 25 index. So you must try by all means possible or all means necessary to filter out things that are not important at that particular given time. So remember, switching to H4, we have a beautiful structure here, which the market was just respecting or retesting this previously broken level here. So now if you switch to a lower time frame, we go to a lower time frame with the perspective or with the mindset of that the market has retested in a bigger time frame. So hopefully the market is most likely to go down. But however, before the market goes down, I just have to switch to a bit at least M15, then see how the candlesticks are behaving. Look at the candlestick behavior. Then from there, you will be able to cater for a sell. So if you cater for a sell, you're making sure that your stop loss is very, very tight. That's only if this candlestick will close here outside. But if this candlestick decides to go back and close inside our channel, excuse me, if the market or the candlesticks are pushing back to the channel and closing inside the channel, I won't take the sell on the volatility 25 index. But if this candlestick, because it's the second one, if it closes outside here, that's where I'm gonna cater for a sell when the third candlestick forms. So I hope this content was worth your time. So if you like this content, make sure that you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and tell me what else would you like to see me analyzing on my next video. So yeah guys, from me to you, this is what I had for you today. The volatility 25 index simplified and with less drawings and less confusion. So this is just how things are. Until next time, bye.